Where'd it go? Oh,
Jack
there we
is
go.
doing so good.
You talking about
This is
beer?
how the whole show's gonna go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So nice to
put
be working
your
with
hands
professionals.
together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any person
Thanks,
under the
Dad,
age
for
of
my
21.
back
Please drink responsibly.
like Will Smith and his son.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed once again, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about. At least we try to, and we drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. Still with me, as always,
Father Adam.
Father Adam, the Hughesiest, and in the camp, he's still here. He's frantically trying not to
There's
mess
like
anything else
so
up.
many windows I have open. Oh my God, it's Jack. It's
So we
Jack.
had some technical difficulties.
God King Jack.
Jack is over there just Hughesing everything.
Oh my God.
Doing a great job.
And yeah, for those of you who saw the first part, technical difficulties. Marcus's internet is well, it's as reliable as
Marcus's
Marcus.
intern. Yeah. So before we crap out again, let's have a drink and cheers to all the nerds in the world, to all the nerds
Through all
through
the
all
fuzz.
the fuzz.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms
Let's
up.
get
Nerdbuzzed.
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 Cheers. I'm gonna have a shot. And I'm gonna drink a beer because it's gonna be one of those kind of shows, obviously.
Already
I have
is.
a glass
Yeah,
full of
already
shots
is.
right here.
Nice.
Got some Lefroy.
So clearly,
Hughes House
when you go
staple.
live, you can have some real live issues
Yeah.
called Jack. But we
Well,
got it
I don't
resolved.
think that was quite me. I think it was your internet. And then like I had everything
Fantastic
prepared,
internet.
Yeah.
and it all fell apart. I had to
like
like
to call-
redo everything.
I like to call my Wi-Fi Jack.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Get on with the show already.
So
Jesus.
this show, we're gonna talk all about Red Dead because we've been playing the crap out of it, and we're all super excited to talk about it. And so I guess first off, I didn't because you haven't actually played Red Dead 1, right? Adam?
No.
But Gary has. I know. Look at
That I have.
his face. His face sums up everything. So Jack kind of already asked me this question on our last show, but I thought it would be a good way to just intro by asking Gary, how would you say Red Dead 2 is different than Red Dead 1?
Red Dead
he's thinking.
2 has reached a level of simulation that Red Dead 1 didn't even come close to. Everything in the world around you, all the systems governing everything, the side characters, everything rolls into one large, cohesive, open world, the likes of which, Red Dead 1 just couldn't even hold a candle to.
Yeah, I would totally agree with all of that. It's I think Red Dead 2 is much more of it's not a simulator, but it's borderline in on like Cowboy Simulator. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, everything breaking down. I mean, you've got to constantly monitor everything from the conditions of your guns, the conditions of your hunt, your kills from the hunt, to, I mean, everything is, I mean, it's not micromanagement, but it's definitely more than, a previous Rockstar game.
Yeah.
Or most open world games in general.
Would you say I mean, I think it's safe to say that we all think you should get this game. Right? Like go get the game.
I don't think everybody should get it. There's a lot of people that don't like it, apparently. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah, right. Because there
But,
clearly is something wrong with them. Well, maybe that's a good place to start too. Is that is there anything about Red Dead 2 that bugs you, or you would say is not necessarily a good thing? Gary?
I know you and I have talked about this a little bit. The mechanics of the gunplay and such. When everything else is as polished and smooth, it really stands out that this is the same basic and the mechanics and such that Rockstar has been using since at least GTA 4. They haven't made advancements that other action games have. And I'm thinking it's starting to really show its signs. That was the first thing that really jumped out at me.
But if we talk about the gunplay though, it's definitely slower than GTA. Like some of the guns you can actually pull the the shot. You have to pull it again to cock the gun.
Yeah.
And then pull it again to shoot,
Yes.
right? Like it is slower. But I think I'm actually in the boat of I like that
I like
about
it. I think it's cool.
I like
it took
that
me a minute to figure out how not to shoot somebody, right under
Yeah.
the chin. Like, shit. I didn't mean to do that. And then you got to bounce out of town because now everybody's out to kill you. And I really like that. I really like
versus
that.
GTA. Do you?
Yeah, GTA is like automatic. You already know what you're doing, and it's kind of cool to, oh shit, accidentally I hit instead of what is it? You hit like R2 instead of R1 or something, and then boom, you just shot somebody.
Yeah.
Or you fucked up you're trying to shoot a bear and you miss it just by however far in video game lengths
Pixels.
and shoot it and shoot it like right behind the neck, and then you can't use that pelt for really anything or whatever.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I hate it, but every single encounter in Red Dead they're basically all the same, I feel. I mean, it's all pop behind a box, you pop out, shoot, pop back down. I get it, it's kind of realistic. I just wish they had done something to mix it up a bit more than they did, I guess was what I was trying to get at. Because, I feel that every engagement, it plays out in the same fashion, more or less.
Yes. I would agree with that. That it can be kind of repetitive.
Very shooting gallery-ish.
Yeah. That part, I guess it could have been advanced a little more. But even when you get like in a gunfight, and it's fun to like purposely just shoot the guy's hat off first, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or you can shoot the guns out of their hands.
Yeah.
And like you can do some stuff like that. But I am a big fan of just the slower pace and how simple Red Dead can be, but still so elaborate at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it never feels overwhelming, which I really enjoy about it. And maybe that's
Some of the gunfights do.
Yeah, they can't. I still die a lot in
Yeah.
gunfights for sure. Like you get swarmed by guys.
Yeah.
We have in the chat we have some concern because there's scotch in the room, and
Yeah, that's what,
people think I'm drinking
Nick
it.
said.
And
should be.
that we've heard
You should be.
we've heard the horror stories of me crawling to the bathroom, hanging out there for 3 hours, and then crawling to bed after scotch. So I'm not drinking scotch. No more
Quick
horror
shout out.
stories.
the whole bottle.
Quick
in
shout out
one-
to my dad and also Dad
And Dad
watching.
and,
I hope the frame rate's better.
Hey, Dad.
and Jay and Mick and
Lucas.
Thank you everybody for joining us.
Lucas.
Hi, everybody.
But
They all came from me. You're welcome, guys.
I think on the top of my list as far as any sort of complaint about it, which I feel like is almost reverting back to like GTA, like Vice City almost, is
don't know
the
if I ever played that.
horrible swimming mechanics in this game. Like if you have to swim or use a boat, it is like it's cool that some parts of the game are slow, but I shouldn't have to row my boat 20 times to go across
you're a
like
cowboy,
a 3-foot creek. Is that what it is? And like when you get in the water, your cowboy boots just fill with water.
Yeah.
So you can't
You got all these
swim at all.
guns and you big jacket.
Laying you
You're
down,
like,
you've got your
"Oh."
guns on you.
Yeah.
They're metal. They're slowing you down. I
tried
mean,
to
come
do
on,
this-
Marcus.
This
Yeah.
swim and totally died.
Clearly,
10
like
feet from
humans
land.
didn't evolve enough to know how to swim till like the 1900s, right?
What? Oh, I mean,
That must be what it is.
I was very confused for a second.
He's a cowboy though. He's not used to this water, man.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
used to the
horrible
dirt
at
and the
swimming.
dust. The only water I get is the one that gold comes in. Yeehaw!
Yeah, that
It's cowboys
I
right there.
kept coming back to that being one of my major complaints. I hate swimming in this game. Lucas says the fishing is really well
You
done.
fish?
To tie it
All
into
things
water.
to do.
Oh, yeah, I go fishing.
Oh my!
I
haven't
caught a
mastered
24-pounder
that
the other day.
yet. Nice.
But in-
Nice.
Is that one of the legendaries?
No, it wasn't a legendary. It was just a big fish.
Wow.
I snapped a pic of it.
Are we talking about real
I
life
didn't
or the game? I
do
can't
anything,
tell at this
but-
point.
That's how good the game is, Jack. Get the game.
Seriously.
Dude, you put me in front of some dominoes.
Oh my god!
I'll sit down. I'll throw some bones.
Wait, is it you can play craps or whatever or ghetto?
Dominoes.
Yeah, you can play dominoes. You can play poker. You can play the
Five
five-finger knife game.
Yeah,
Do you have to
whatever
like
that
tap
is,
it,
whatever.
or does it just?
Yeah,
it's
and
like
blackjack,
Simon.
and I feel like there's one more.
At what point
Might be
are
one
you
more.
just like, that's too much?
No.
Maybe
No.
that's something we should ask too, because there are people that say that there's too much in the game, that it's too realistic.
could have
and that you
focused
have to
on-
do too many things.
You don't have to do any. That's the thing, is you don't have to stop and help that dude that just got bit by a snake. You can keep riding by.
Yeah.
Right. But I did
Gotta
help
suck
this
the
one dude,
venom.
and I just helped him again.
The same guy got
Same
bit
guy,
by a snake
like
again.
totally later in the.
What an idiot.
And you're like, this is it. The last time I want to help you. And same thing. This like
See what
convict
happens when you give a man a fish?
comes
That's
running out of
problem.
the woods twice now, and I blew his chains off his feet once, and I blew his chains off his feet again. And he's like,
Are you like
Yeah, and then he asked
reloading
not
an
to
old
talk,
save?
not to
or
ask
what?
any questions.
no. And they're like, hey, thanks, man. I know you did this for me twice. And you're like, "Rah, it better not happen again. You know, even though
Yeah,
I'm like
Hey, that was good. That was good.
a third of the way from like being totally evil.
That was a good Arthur impression.
I'm hooked. I love it. Dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that character. He's a cool dude. Even though he's a bad guy.
Well, see, like how you led with, we would all recommend the game. I think I told you about this. I was talking to our buddy Chris Maselli, and like at this point, despite trying to play it, he's got like 5 hours into Spider-Man. Just something he's
Okay.
very much into. And my honest to God recommendation to him was, do not get Red Dead. It's a
Just-
game that doesn't
it's different,
that isn't at its best unless you can commit the time to immerse yourself into that world until you really start, you become Arthur and you're doing, going through his life.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see that argument, but it depends on what your motivation is. If you're the story guy, then yeah, everything about Red Dead unfolds way slower. It just does. But at the same time, if he just wants to jump in and not have to commit to a story and just run around and be a cowboy and then shut it off, and that's all he wants to do, it completely caters itself to that also. Like,
That's not the way he would be though. That's why he's gotten nowhere in Spider-Man, because he's just wandering around.
like aimlessly.
And it's very rare for him to even do that.
Man, see, I don't know. I'd almost say that Red Dead might be ideal then. Because you can aimlessly
Yeah, you
wander
can do
around
whatever
and
you want,
accomplish
man.
nothing.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
And it's loads of fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun to just...
I've spent the most time doing that. Just driving or riding my horse around.
doing nothing.
Killing animals and like trying to get the good pelts. And
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do in Red Dead is just see what I can do.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'll just ride up. Like the other day,
Yeah.
we've done
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of times where me and Adam have been playing single player, but we're just chatting while we're doing it, right? And you came across the
so
guy in the
funny.
swamp.
yeah.
You go ahead, you say it. You did it.
Well, okay, so I'm riding across this bridge, and there's this, you're in the swamp, and there's this dude on a rowboat, and he's rowing. I'm like, oh, there's a guy rowing. And Marcus is like,
Oh, Mick. Or Gary. Sorry, Gary.
What is that?
We could hear like all the echoing. We're gonna turn it back up. No,
Fix it, Jack.
yeah,
I don't think that's
God.
on our end. Oh, Gary, something happened with your. I think your something. We can hear the echo of like everything. It's super loud.
There we go.
There we go.
Anyways.
So this dude's rowing, and you're like, see if you can shoot his boat and sink it. And I'm like, huh. And so I think I had my like little varmint rifle, which is like my favorite gun in the game. Hands down. I've seriously killed like 20 dudes with that thing. All headshots, man. The little. Anyways, so I shoot it like
varmints.
I shoot it like 4 times, and I'm like, no, I'm not seeing anything. And so I run over and I and it's hard because it wants to hit him in the head. So you're like trying to bring it down. I shot it one last time, and I'm watching him. And you can see the boat like slowly sink, and he's like paddling more, freaking out. And then the boat sinks, and he's swimming off, and then he fucking gets ate by a gator. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen, man.
Gets ate by a gator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoosh.
But just that you can even do that.
Yeah.
That they even thought
Yeah.
to make it so you could shoot holes in the boat just to freak out the NPCs. Like
Yeah.
there's so many ways to do that.
Yeah.
I heard that I haven't done it myself. This is gonna be one of the first things I do. But I heard online that you can hog tie someone and then throw them into a pig pen, and the pigs will literally eat them.
Oh yeah. That's
I
a
haven't done
random
that yet.
encounter, emergent event in a town. You have to do it for some woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I
really?
now I just want to do that to like half the people I see, just to get rid of the evidence.
Dad, did you
I
save
want to go
the?
do it to the alligators.
Did
right?
you save the clip of you doing that? Like shooting the guy
I
to
don't
the
know how to do
alligators?
that.
Yeah, the
Oh.
answer is no.
Well, there's a big button, Dad, that says share, but I mean,
Why would I do that? I
you're-
got all these other. There's already enough
There's,
buttons
like,
on there. I don't need
a
to
few
press the other
buttons.
one that every
mean,
time
it's
I hit
fine.
it, something happens. And it's like
You should
no.
probably have Jack show you how to do it, and I bet
No.
you will not have any technical difficulties the whole
Oh
time.
my God, that wasn't. That was on Gary's end. Whatever.
So are we
guys.
moving past our complaints? Because you guys seem to be trying to get
Yeah,
all crazy
it-
now,
the-
and I'm all down for that if that's where we're
The
going.
complaint
Yeah.
train has left the station
I-
long
but
ago.
I-
I feel
and
like
I
we should
think-
bring it back for a little bit just to get like a more well-rounded experience.
I don't really have, to be completely honest about Red Dead,
Any complaints?
I don't have any complaints
That's
Finally.
not true.
that would warrant somebody to like not get it in any way. Any complaint I have is so minor in the grand scheme of things, and the only reason I have the complaint is because I've noticed this subtle issue with it because there's so much detail in the rest of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like if they wouldn't have spent so much time focusing on everything else in the game, I don't think I would have nitpicked that little issue out of it.
You would have picked something else though.
Well, maybe.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. I ruin things, right? Totally. I'm almost
Just like
as bad
your
as Jack.
giant television.
Yeah,
I wanted
right?
to see that thing, and I come over and it's down. Damn it.
So, like maybe in a way that is Red Dead's biggest compliment and its biggest flaw, all rolled into one, right? Is that it's so insanely detailed that at the same time it exposes all the minor flaws. Maybe? No? Gary's thinking of it. What do you
Well,
want to
no.
say, Gary?
No, I mean, you definitely have a point, but I mean, when I think of Red Dead, I mean, really 3 words come to mind. What a journey. And that's
Red
not
Dead
necessarily
Redemption.
the story beats. It's exactly what you're saying. All the little details in the world and every interaction. Yeah, you do notice the blemishes, but everything else is so beyond what we've had before.
Oh, totally. I've never played. Well, like you were just telling me the other day about the guy you saved from the snake bite, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
share your
the
story.
dog, the guy. Start with the guy and his dog.
Yeah. No, and the guy like he came and helped you out later on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell the story real
Yeah,
quick.
do it.
So, okay, I'm going through this. Well, I'm heading towards town to go get my weekly trim because my Arthur is very fastidious in his
Grooming.
taking care of himself, getting haircuts and shaving regularly. Anyways, I'm cutting through this guy's yard. This dog and this guy start coming at me, trying to chase me off there. And I turn and I defuse the guy. Everything's cool. The dog, however, will not leave me alone. No matter what I do, the dog, and he just keeps following me. And so I keep going, hoping eventually he'll turn around. He doesn't. But because the dog keeps following me, now the dude's following the dog because he's concerned because his dog won't come back. Well, okay, so I'm on in there. I'm on my way to town. I'm like, well, I know in real life, this is exactly how I thought about it. I know in real life that if you go over rocky terrain, you'll tend to lose trackers. So I'm like, I'll just, start dodging in here amongst these rocks. Next thing I hear is like, hey! And it cuts off abruptly. The dog tumbled down the hill and died. This upset the farmer, who pulls his gun because he blames me that his dog died, even though the dog chased me all this way. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I'm close to town. If I shoot this guy, I'm going to get a bounty. I just want to get my hair cut. I mean, really, this is way more complicated than it needed to be. And so I'm like, okay, so I draw out my lasso. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go lasso that guy up. Next thing I know, a shot rings out. And it doesn't hit the dude, but it impacts near him. And he looks around, and that farmer decides, okay, my dog ain't worth that. He takes off, and he leaves. Well, the next I'm looking around, this dude comes up on a horse. And it's some guy that I'd randomly helped hours ago. He just happened to be wandering by me when he saw me in trouble and came to repay the favor. I had to have the emergent event of the dog and the man chase me, and the dog refusing to be, backed off. Well, at the same time, this random guy that I'd helped earlier just happened to be wandering by at the same moment. And those two things intersected into one experience, and it blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
You
And
know
this none of that was any of that was required. That's all NPC stuff.
Yeah.
No.
NPCs
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
filler,
Yep.
right? Like they don't make up context of a game. They just fill empty space. That's
Each
not
piece
what they
is its
do.
own thing. They just happen to meet.
But
By-
now
by
there might be
happenstance.
an expectation for them to be like fill that role, which would be cool.
Well, okay,
Oh,
because
in
each
future
character
games? Yeah.
has a
That's
full
awesome.
24/7 schedule. They have
Yeah.
a life. They
Yeah.
have a
Yep.
routine.
Well, and so speaking of
had-
that, Lucas just chimed in. This is something I've wanted to do. Was shoot like a main NPC guy, like the store owner or something. So he just commented that he shot the store owner in the face, and then 2 days later he was back in the store, but he had a bandage on his head where he shot him.
That's pretty
Like,
funny.
how awesome is that, right?
I had heard something about like that with like a peg leg, but I
yeah.
have not done it myself. I'm
Yeah,
a good guy.
that too.
The
Unless it comes to the
You know what
fact.
this
my
reminds me
God.
a lot of?
I am so dirty
This-
and terrible in the game.
Shot a doctor in the leg. A few days later, he had a wooden leg. That's cool. This reminds me a lot of
That is
Shadow
so
of
awesome,
War,
yeah.
right? Like you'll fight an orc captain, and he'll come
Oh, the
back.
Nemesis system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll come back as like a robot, or
Yeah.
he'll come back from the dead. I killed this one guy
Comes
like
back
3
as
times.
a robot with
Pretty
sword on
much.
screen.
And then
Yeah.
and then one time like we're fighting, and I'm expecting to kill him, but he does like this last life thing, like this second wind, and he just kills me, right? And he keeps killing me, and all the orc captains are tied to a specific area. There's like a few different areas that you can go to throughout the map. I'm like, okay, I go to another area because I wanted to like take out this orc captain on my own. And I'm wandering around, and I see this random guy pop up. He's like, "Ugh, talk," and I'm like, "Oh, whatever, I'll kill him easily." And then from behind him pops out that other guy, and I didn't know they could cross through areas. And he's like, "I followed you all this way," and it was one of those weird moments. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he just came, and he was just like throwing fire at me, and I had to run away. But like like just little things like that, where like the NPCs kind of follow you around.
Yeah.
It makes you feel more important without the game just telling you, "You're important. You're the most special of all." Right? If that
Well, and
makes
even-
sense. Like I had to earn that. That didn't
Yeah.
just happen.
How
That's a
dare
whole
you get
other
your
game,
fantasy
but-
geek into our cowboy
Yeah.
nerd?
Oh my
Right?
God.
I thought that too. It's not even Red Dead stuff. The
But I see what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
I
Also,
still an
thanks,
idiot.
Dad,
I
for
think-
watching.
He's still in.
yeah,
Can I say that?
yeah. You can
Okay,
say
he's
call
still
him
an idiot.
Oh yeah, he's a Hughes idiot.
Oh my
So-
God.
Struck a chord.
I'm Hewish.
Misappropriation of my name.
I think that all of these things about Red Dead though are such a huge example that I would almost like to sit down with somebody that doesn't like Red Dead and see, like, you're clearly playing it wrong for you then, right? Because the game is so willing to cater
I just think
to
that-
your playing style. Like,
Oh,
maybe try
I see.
playing it differently,
I'll look up some
and then it
negative
would
reviews.
be it'd be more catered to what you're into,
Yeah.
right? Like, quit being so generic with it and think outside the box a little bit and make your guy the nasty, gross Arthur with the
you
beard
saying
and don't bathe, or
be
be like
liquid?
Gary and do it. Yeah, be liquid. Yes.
What?
Quit being so solid.
Yeah.
Right?
By the time we finish the game, we'll have all taken wildly different paths to get, to the same points. And I think when we come back together and, and we discuss it, I think no matter what route we took, we're all going to agree that my way was the correct way, because my Arthur's way should be, and you guys are doing it wrong.
My Arthur is a filthy scumbag. I'll tell you that.
I got this shaved on my Arthur, and I just realized that if your hair will only grow to a certain point unless
Yeah.
you use the hair tonic. Damn it!
That's why I have
Yeah.
the what's his name? Beef guy. It's what's for dinner guy.
Oh, Sam
Elliott. I've totally
Heck
got.
yes, they do.
I've got the level 10 Sam Elliott mustache going.
Yeah.
So I'll shave everything else, make it clean shaven, and I'll put the Dapper Dan stuff in my hair to sleek it all back. But I never bathe. My guy's so disgustingly gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like real life.
Right? Totally.
Can
Well,
you-
I'm trying to emulate
You
my real
know
lifestyle,
what would be
yeah.
really exciting? To look and act like the guy from There Will Be Blood.
Maybe that'll be
Oh.
online.
Can you
He's a
Is there
he's a
anything
good
involved with oil in the game?
Yes, there's an
Yeah.
oil place.
Can you work for them? Can you own it?
Oh.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
That's probably that'll probably be in a
Oil.
online, right?
So
Online?
on, of all the Metacritic scores, let's see. Of the crit of like the actual
Critic scores,
critic
not the
scores,
user
yeah.
scores.
98% positive, 1% mixed, 0% negative. So that's 89 positive reviews and 1 mixed review. Not a single negative review. So if we want to look for negative, we have to go to the user, which is surprisingly 20%, but it's like positive 63, mixed 6, and then 20% the last one. I'm sure it's just a bunch of trolls, but let's
Well, and,
How many of them are zeros?
yeah.
it's probably all like no,
But
I was watching a video of someone going through them, and it was like someone saying like game like I didn't really like the beginning, 0. Like it's just like people,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, it takes so long.
But then
It's
again,
like a movie,
like
dude.
if you didn't slow down and take the time to do things, you wouldn't have the encounter that Gary had.
Yeah.
Right? Like you wouldn't
Yep.
that wouldn't have unfolded and played out if you wouldn't have just slowed your roll and just played the game and let things happen. You can't be too eager in Red Dead. You just can't be.
Yeah.
You need to slow down and just appreciate the world and what's going on around you, and let it unfold. Also, it's on our last show I said it also, but the world of Red Dead is as much, if not more, of a character than Arthur is in the game.
Yeah.
It
there's
totally
always
is.
shit changing.
Very valid point.
Yeah, it's like and not all games are really good at that. There's a few of them where that element of the game really shines, but I've never seen it be handled so well and so balanced with your personal story also
Yeah.
as Red Dead 2 is. They're both treated equally with the same level of respect. That's insane to say, especially at a game that's this scale. Like I feel like you could have an encounter on the far north corner of the map and then travel all the way to the far south corner, and maybe if you go back, things have still been happening and there's still the counter
things have moved
reaction
on.
of what you did that's still been happening and going on up there.
Yeah.
It's not like you go back and it's
See,
all
watch
reset.
buildings be built,
Yeah.
houses and stuff. You'll
Yeah.
see them through various stages of construction if you
Oh.
wander by.
The dude,
Um,
there's a dude that has a
something-
house. He just got shot
What?
in my game.
Oh no.
These bandits rolled in and killed him and his sons. And they
Oh,
were,
I've ran into them.
Yeah.
They're still alive in mine.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed. That was cool. Like the first time I went by, it's like he's like, these kids are bad kids. You know, they've never swung a hammer. And then the next time I go by, they're like going to stand this wall, and it falls, and the guy's like, "Ah, you damn kids!"
Yeah.
And then I rolled in the next time, and they're all dead. They've all been killed by these bandits.
Wow. So, like, I wonder what would it... Because don't they ask you if you want to help? Like, at least run some errands for them or, like, get more supplies or
that'd
do
be cool.
They
something?
never asked me to do anything.
I don't think they've asked me.
Yeah.
I swear that I got asked by them. I
Maybe.
stopped and
I've
did you
helped so
stop
many
and
people.
interact with them?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I walked in and I was, stole their
Yeah.
cigarette card.
Yeah. I'm constantly baffled by that kind of thing in the game. And I was really trying to progress the story to see what happens with that element of it because I wanted to be able to talk about the story of the game. It's so hard to not get distracted by just
It's
NPC
Everything.
fun stuff
Yeah.
just going
Yeah.
on. It doesn't even have to be that. Like if you want, you can just follow an animal.
Yeah.
Through and watch what
I've
happens with the animals.
Yeah, I've tried to kill almost every. I'm not a hunter, but like I was saying, today at my office, I saw this deer go by the window, and the first thing I thought was, is that a mangy whitetail, or is that a 3-star whitetail? And I could get a perfect pelt off
damn.
that fucker.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell,
Might need a
man?
meeting.
Yeah.
Well, I hear the more you watch, you do like I believe it's R1 where it
Yeah.
scans the animals,
Yeah.
right? And then you can R1 to get their stats. The more you do that with each animal, the more and more familiar with hunting that animal you'll get.
Yeah.
And the more you'll be able to,
Like
the
Monster
easier
Hunter.
it is to track them.
Oh, yeah.
The easier it is to spot
Yep.
like the better
Right,
hides and the higher
No one
quality.
heard what I said.
So,
I did hear that.
Well,
Jack.
What did
Yes,
he
we
say?
did.
What did he say?
Like
He said
Monster
like
Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
Power
Oh
Rangers.
God! Don't talk about Monster Hunter. Red
Yeah.
Dead. Get it.
No,
Hey, speaking of, do you have an ice machine in here?
I do not.
It's in
No,
his
that's another
fridge.
one.
He has ice in it. Do you want me to get some ice for you?
That's what he's there for.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
do. You're a
Well,
great
let's
son.
let's
God,
kind of run
he's
through
terrible
some
head.
a little more specifically about the
Crushed
game.
ice.
It's
Um,
about the
halfway.
story too, so that people
Halfway.
like.
Yeah, we'll run into that.
I feel like some people are gonna be like, "Wow, like that sounds great that you can do all those things, but I don't care and I want to do the story." So I feel like you
Your
should.
story's great.
If
Story's
you want to
great.
jump to talking about the story, I think as far as a Rockstar game goes, the story is super super engaging.
Yeah.
If you are a Red Dead 1 fan,
It'd probably make a lot more sense.
I want to. This is like one of the best examples of a prequel / sequel combined story I've ever played. Like I've never played a video game that nails both parts of that so well, because everything about the game, as far as like the technical side of it, is so much a sequel, but the story element of it and the gang that you're running with and where they're at in their history is so much a prequel in the game. So it's like it's just nailing both of those so well. I'm a big fan of it.
It's not that you're missing out having not played the first one so much as just what you are seeing is that much richer for Marcus and I who remember Abigail and Jack and Dutch and not really Dutch,
Micah?
Bill.
Yeah.
Micah,
All
Micah
the
in
people
first
from
one?
before. But I mean, none of them were outside of John himself were anybody you spent a lot of time with in the first one. It's all, allusions and little bits here and there, but now we're seeing it, and we're seeing some of the things that led to what we know. So I mean, you're not missing a whole lot, but it does help.
Yeah, and it the first game is very much John and his past history like coming back to haunt him, right? So he's like tying up loose ends
So you
with
fight
the gang.
the old gang? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, kind of like his old history with the gang. Like he's tried to abandon that, right? And so his history with the gang comes back and haunts him. And so he's got all these things. His past is coming back. With this one, you get to see those things unfold because I'm far enough in the story where Arthur and John are having conversation with each other. And Arthur's to the point where he's like, John, you have to get out of here. Like if you're smart, you would leave the gang now. Take your wife, take your kid, get the hell out of here. And John's like on the fence about it, but he's starting to see these things that Arthur's talking about, and that part of the story is starting to unfold too. So in my game, it's really starting to do that transition between the story of Red Dead 2 and the first Red Dead. I'm bridging that gap now. And the way that unfolds is done so well because you get to see that perspective of John, but through Arthur's eyes.
Yeah.
Right? So it's from this third person perspective. But you still see John change so much and turn into the character that he was in that first game. It's awesome.
Well,
from where he starts at in this one and the way he treats Jack and the problems it's causing between him and Annabelle.
my son?
And then, up to where we are now and where we know it goes into.
Yeah, I think it is different for us because we know what John is in that first game. So it's really cool to watch that happen for him in it. But I think maybe a good way of stating how awesome of a sequel and a prequel this game is I think you could play this game, and if the story part is the part that you really care about and you want to know, you could play the first Red Dead, and you would love that element of it because you're going to you have to be able to just pick up right after the end of this and just carry on the story now from John's perspective. Okay. And you'll be able to now relate to all this jaded past that comes up. Yeah. It would be a lot of fun. I'm tempted to go back and play the first one after this one. Just because of that, because I'd like that story.
Is it on the PS4?
I don't think there is a remaster. I think you have to play it on PS3. Yeah.
PS3 or PlayStation now.
Yeah. And
on Xbox One.
If we're talking like story just in general, I absolutely love Arthur. Like I love
he's great.
his character.
I've spent quite a bit of time with that guy, killing animals and wrestling people, talking about he's a good boy, my horse.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's my guy, man. If I could be a cowboy, I would be that guy. If I could be a cowgirl, I would be a female version, which I will
be Arthur.
online. I will be the female version of Arthur.
Yeah.
With pink hair.
Well, and a
pink horse.
And again, I'm really curious to once we've totally beat the game, to get together again and talk. And how different are our Arthurs, right? Like it already sounds like Gary's is wildly. It sounds like you and me are a little more similar.
I saved at this point. When I heard some stuff, I saved at this certain point, and then I can go back and replay and be like a different Arthur. But right now, it's like I'm like almost totally. It's hard to be totally evil when the dude with the snake bite comes out, and you're like, "Here's some." I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm not gonna suck the poison out of the guy, right? Here's a poison tonic. You want somebody else to suck the poison out of your leg?
Oh, yeah. You didn't suck on his leg.
No,
I didn't either.
What do you?
Gary
no way,
did.
Man.
Gary
just
got
came
in there
out of the swamp.
Did you get in there
way.
deep and
It
suck on a
started
No,
suck on
I
a
have,
snake
I
bite?
have
Two
plenty of
things
tonics of every kind. There was no
So
need
I'm
to
gonna
be
delete
sucking no
this one.
tonics.
Gary got fooled once when somebody asked him to suck their snake bite, and he would never do it again.
So did
Well,
I.
fool me
That's why
once.
in the video game world, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Marcus,
Real life,
it started recording like twice.
Great. Thanks, Jack.
What did?
Like at one point it stopped recording, so I had to restart recording.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
We're
gonna
still
have to delete
streaming.
the second one. But yeah, we're still streaming.
Yeah.
Will it save the stream as the
The
recording?
first recording, Jack, is the garbage one.
No. Oh, it is.
Yeah, because
There
it
you
cut
go.
out. Remember?
No,
oh my
I think
God, this
no.
is
This
why I don't pay him.
no. This is a different one.
Wait, you don't pay him?
No, not a penny. I will when he gets his act together.
What? I've been waiting for.
I know.
What,
Tell
you're-
me about
You're
it.
almost 20.
No, okay. So I think this one stopped for some reason, and this was the beginning, and there's like a
That's fine.
a
Let it
minute
Why don't
long
you just leave it
cut
going
out.
and-
So this is the second one. It popped up with a message saying like you can't
Lucas
record
just
them.
shoots the snake bite guy
So
in
I'm
the
gonna delete
leg,
this
and
one.
then in the head every time.
the leg and the face.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just leave him there.
Okay.
So
But yeah, like you and
Good
I were
job,
talking the
Lucas.
other day, I have a complete character psych
So many
profile
technical
built on my Arthur, explaining every single thing he does and why he does it. It's kind of ridiculous because he doesn't. It's not that he has a very defined character, but based off of all the interactions throughout
Yeah.
the world, it's just what makes sense.
yeah,
And for such a blank slate, he's very defined.
Yeah.
Kind of like for such a sparsely populated world, Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty dense.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah. There's always something to shoot. Always.
yeah. There is
I killed the
always
clan.
something to
I
do.
killed the clan the other night. Dude, it was so fun.
Which
Did
time?
you
Which
kill
time?
all the clan?
What? I'm sorry.
Which time?
Which time?
This is the first
Like
time.
one time they were carrying the burning cross,
No, I
and
didn't
I
get
shot
that.
one. They dropped the burning cross and set them all on fire.
Wait,
Yes!
you can kill
What?
KKK people?
Oh yes. Take them
Yes.
out, dude.
That's
they were,
awesome.
They were
The leader
initiating a guy.
the leader ran away, but I went and hunted him down, and Knifey came out and I stabbed him.
That's really cool.
That is awesome.
Because playing Wolfenstein, one of the things I wanted to do in the second one was
Oh
it
my
always
God,
showed
if
that
he
you
brings another game
I know.
into this.
could kill KKK members, but you can't in Wolfenstein 2. There's like only a couple of them.
Yeah, well, dude, it's not really his fault. This younger generation with their
No,
YouTubes,
I'm trying to
Twitches,
compare
they don't have an
everything.
attention
I'm
span.
I'm trying
They're
to
like
draw
fruit flies.
more
That's
people in.
Jack. That is the point. Is that it's this is so
Thumbs down.
groundbreaking, phenomenal. You can't compare it.
Yeah, you can
just
do whatever
can't.
you
You
want.
definitely-
You
you
can do
can-
whatever you want.
Like on a level
two
that
dads
I've
here.
You
never.
can't do that though.
Well, not DLC. That'll be some
I can
serious
only hope.
DLC.
Yeah.
High five.
All right, guys. I'll see you this game.
So, what do you think of the game as far as just like roaming around the world and just visually? Like not even really doing anything,
Best
but
game
just
I've ever played.
looking around in the world.
Okay, so this is something that it gets brought up frequently that Red Dead Redemption 2 is a gorgeous game. But the thing that I think gets kind of missed sometimes is it's a gorgeous, huge open world game with no load times practically.
Yeah,
No load
zero.
times.
Absolutely amazing.
like missions
But the
or
level of
whatever.
detail they have with the lack of buffering and load screens that you have to deal with as you go from point A to point B, it's just, you can tell they spent 8 years working on this game.
And that's
with
why
thousands of
it's
people.
such a big file, right?
Oh yeah.
Which
It's
is
loading
cool,
that
totally
every
cool.
single,
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
it's all working and going on
Yeah.
around you. It's insane. That I guess that's one. Okay, so you were correct. I have more complaints.
Of course.
As far as the world go visually,
He's fracking it up.
one of my favorite things about Red Dead is when it is like the difference between day and night, and when it's raining or like thunder, the double rainbow that I saw the other day in the game, right? Like double
rainbow.
rainbow is totally in
Arthur
there.
to say that?
Yeah, I just fired a
Double
few rounds into
rainbow.
the air.
Yeah.
That's how we'd say it too.
Well, look at that.
If there's one
Double
complaint I
rainbow.
have about that sort of thing, is I almost wish the transition between those things was slower. Like I wish that it would stay nighttime a little bit longer, or it would stay daytime or dusk a little bit longer, so I could enjoy the moonlight coming through the trees a little
I
more.
think
It
it
almost
depends
feels
on where
like
you're at, though.
Maybe just go outside,
'Cause down
man.
in, like, the swamp, it gets dark real quick. But up by Valentine, it seems to, like, dusk lasts a little longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I gotta explore a little more for that. I wish that like the day-night cycle was twice as long. I wish that it took twice as long for the clock to run through its 24-hour cycle. I feel like I just start to enjoy dusk.
It does seem fairly hurried.
Yeah, it's like I just get settled in and I just start to appreciate the setting that I'm in. And as I just start to soak it up, you can already see it getting lighter and turning into day. And I wish it would just settle a little bit more and let me really soak it in.
Like you're just gonna sit there on a overlook and watch.
Oh,
the
I
night?
totally would. Yes.
You
Dude,
don't
I
have
do
your-
sometimes. They're in camp or
Yeah.
I'm just there with anybody. Any chance I have to, interact with one of the members of the gang.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, you cut on cinematic mode. You're looking around at stuff while you're having your conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
I
totally
do
down
the
for that.
cinematic.
And
running
the
from
right
place to
lighting
place.
helps.
Yeah. Well, and I think that emphasizes that point of like, there's so much detail in everything where it's even just visual detail where it is cool to just sit and look at it.
Yeah.
That I wish they would have paid attention to that side of it and let us soak that in a little more. Like I think they missed their mark a little bit on that.
On the day-night cycle.
Just the site, but again, it's so stupidly nitpicky, right?
Day
It
and
really,
night.
really is.
What?
But you wouldn't notice it if it wasn't so pretty, right? Like if
That's
there
a funny
wasn't
one.
so many things in the scene for me to soak up, there's almost too many of them, and then all of a sudden now it's daytime. I didn't get a chance to see them all, and then, I guess lucky for me, in half a minute it'll come back around again, right? I don't know. Are you trying to read the comments, Gary?
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm like,
Gary's squinting hard at the screen there.
Let's see. Let's go back to. So Jeremiah asked the spin and ditch about your TV. I don't know what that means. I'm not an old person.
Totally
Oh,
spun and Dutch
yeah,
it,
yeah.
dude.
I got a major, super awesome 82-inch QLED Samsung, like best of the
I don't
best
even
TV.
understand.
And it's too
blah.
big. My eyeballs hurt today from playing GTA Tuesday on it all day yesterday.
We didn't do it all day. This was only a couple hours.
Yeah, that's how bad it hurt my eyes. I can't do it.
Hey,
Give me a
thanks to
headache.
all you guys that didn't make it to GTA Tuesday yesterday.
Right?
I've
No
been
big deal.
consistently not showing
Yeah,
up
sorry,
for
Dad.
months.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, Dad.
Thanks, Gary.
Some of us have lives and homework. I made chicken last night for the first time ever.
God.
Nice.
How many pans did you?
How many
Let me
things
stop.
that are
We're
not
not gonna
about
get-
Red Dead?
I
did you
ate-
Well,
bring
I'm gonna
in?
get pissed off when I
Two.
go home and there's like all these dirty.
No,
dishes,
there's two
burnt
pans,
chicken
Dad.
fucking everywhere. You're like, come to my campfire, boy. I'll make you some. good
Dad says
chicken
when you
and some-"
holster your gun, you throw it in the air, then backflip, and then it lands in your holster. Dad must
What?
have like some upgrade for
Really?
it.
I don't think he has that
No,
up
it's
He
a
there.
joke.
wishes he could do that.
Yeah.
No, I wish you
I'd
could
be
do that
into
too.
it. Well, only so much. It's only so real, right? My
So
Arthur's
maybe
always
like
skinny.
maybe if you do like
I've tried to eat and eat and eat, and he'll just always staying skinny.
yeah. I have
wanna
yet to
get
make
fat
I think
like,
that's part of
they
the
should add that
realism
for-
of living back then.
way to ruin
Like
that part
San
of the game.
Andreas.
You're just gonna. There's your complaint.
It's supposed to do that.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
you're
been perpetually
living back in the
underweight
1800s.
too.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
I
trying.
buy the
to
most
Nobody-
expensive meal every time I'm in town. At the saloon, at the hotel, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have sat
You
there
should
and
be
ate,
sorry, Mick.
even though my like core thing is full and the ring, and I just sit there and keep eating, and it doesn't seem to matter. I've tried to make myself fat, and I can't do it. Of
Maybe
course,
if
my
we
guy
just
is
eat
sick
and sleep all day long for like a
I
month.
bet you could.
Yeah.
I bet you could.
Gary wouldn't
It's
be able to
just
handle it. He'd be
dedication,
so
dude.
hairy and disheveled. It just,
I'll look it
it'd
up.
Be too
No,
out of character
as long
for
as
you.
you stay in camp, you can shave your. This
Lu-
right here.
Lucas says he
Yeah,
can
but you can't
cowboy.
trim your hair.
Lucas says he
Ah,
can
you can't.
cowboy spin the gun.
Be a long hair.
Can you
dude.
do that?
Is that
Before you
really
put it away?
true, Lucas? You're cowboy spinning the gun?
Or are you just a liar like your brother?
Yeah, right. It's in our genes.
That's not a big surprise. That's not a big surprise.
Do you guys use the
Wow.
Do you guys use the action cam? While we're talking about visuals, clearly
the
that's
action
what we're doing
cam?
right now. The action cam is when you hold down the big pad in the controller
Oh,
and it like
the
brings up the
cinematic.
black bars. Yeah,
Yeah.
the cinematic cam.
I do that when I'm running from place to place.
Do you set the like waypoint marker and then you just hold the X?
Yeah, and you just hold
the
the
you
X
miss
and you
shit.
watch
Yeah,
it
yeah.
and
You
go.
miss stuff. If
And
you're
say,
doing
ooh,
that,
pretty.
right? Like I'll do that, and then I'll go and like take a shower.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, shit, I gotta run all the way across the thing. But then I'll come back and it's like you hear guns going
Yes.
off, and I'm like, what did I miss? You
Yeah.
know? Well, you
Yourself
just
dying.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
ran back. No, as of right now, I have not died on cinematic, but I've been shot at, and dudes have chased me because I was making dinner the other night, and I was like, what the hell? And there's all these gunshots, and I go and look, and I'm being chased by dudes, right? But they, as long as you're in cinematic, I think, as long as you don't turn around and engage them, they'll back off at some point.
I've been in the worst thing that's happened to
Eventually they
me
give up.
I think
in
so.
cinematic, and maybe it was just because I was like too close to the edge of something or my horse freaked out. It's still new, but I went out to pound a soda and then grab a beer.
Oh,
Yeah,
what kind?
And then while I was out there, my wife yelled at me and she was like, "You're getting shot at."
That's why I'm not married.
Yeah. And I was like, "What? Really?" And I came back in. I had fallen off my horse. I was getting shot by dudes, and my horse was laying on the ground, like begging me to revive it.
Were you in a mission or something?
I don't know how it happened.
Did you save the horse?
I did save the horse, and I got on,
Thank
killed
God.
the guys. It wasn't a big deal. But, yeah, S hit the fan. Cinematic is great, though. I wasn't using it a lot from the beginning. Jeremiah Babalu is the one that he was like, dude, use cinematic. So I
Double
started
tap
hitting
when
it
you're
up.
putting away your gun, and double tap what? Double tap L1 or whatever that is.
Double tap to put
I've been looking it up.
your cowboy
for a long
spin
time.
and holster. Really? I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
I've
Did
been-
it in about 2
Like,
hours.
I thought I heard about it,
If
but I have
you-
not done it myself.
Now, so Lucas is clearly watching. Lucas, if you have both your guns out and you double tap, will you spin them
That's
both?
sick.
That's
Oh,
what I
that would
really
be
want to
sick,
know.
dude.
Yeah. That's one more
Go
issue
to
I
shoot
have.
your gun over
I found
hit your
some
head.
details.
What? When?
Oh yeah. If you push up on the D-pad when you got it out, you can just hold your gun up and just shoot as you're riding around. It's like a crazy gun.
I got some stuff. So you can actually visibly lose or gain weight depending on how much food you eat. If you don't eat or rest, you'll suffer from fatigue.
I have that all the time.
Yeah,
My guy
constantly.
constantly.
I'm constantly well rested. I
Yeah,
sleep,
yeah.
I
Oh,
bathe,
really?
I shave.
We're
Dude,
playing
I'm
such a
going.
different
I'm
game.
going. I don't stop ever. It's
If
just
you
like-
lose your hat, it will appear as an icon on the mini map, I guess.
Oh,
Weapons get
Just get
dirty
off
and
my
clogged
horse.
up over time.
what?
Weapons get dirty and clogged up
Yes.
over time.
They totally do.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Also, depending on like how you if you're running through creeks and stuff all the time, that happens way quicker.
Arthur's comments while grooming or soothing his horse will change depending on the sex of the horse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, girl.
Boy.
I've
He
done it.
basically
I've done it now.
substitutes the word girl for boy
Yeah.
or vice versa.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you hold down the
Heck, did you
trackpad,
hit something?
no.
Got your screen frozen. I'm still moving.
Yeah, you're still there.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did. He is messing
I
stuff
have
up
not
today.
hit anything.
He's
Oh my
not
gosh.
Okay.
good.
If you hold the
Lucas
trackpad
doesn't have two guns yet, so he
and
doesn't know.
turn on the cinematic
Idiot.
camera, you can set a waypoint and hold X, and your horse will automatically make the way to the
Yes.
destination.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you put it on cinematic mode, and you get these pan shots.
Ah,
It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Super, super cool.
Uh,
ride wherever
That's
the
cool.
roads may take you.
That's
Yeah.
right. I've done
Um,
a lot of that. Hours of that. Well, I wouldn't say.
We kind of talked about the
Like, a lot of
controls a
hours.
little bit with the gunplay.
I think it's okay.
I totally agree. I'm
As
fine
you
with
progress, you get better. It's better. It's easier to, you're like, fuck. And if it is an
guys.
important thing, you just go back, like reload your last save.
it. The swimming, it sucks. It's terrible. I already said that. Do you guys have a favorite weapon? You said yours is the
Varmint rifle.
Like totally varmint rifle.
Oh, dude, I
all day
love
long?
that thing. Well, okay, I got two volcanic pistols. One's like totally white with all the etch. I must have spent like I don't know $1,000 or $800 pimping that one out, and then I got the black one, right? So I got the two volcanics, which are pistols, not revolvers.
Yeah.
But the varmint rifle is my go-to.
Yeah.
That or that first sniper rifle.
So you like
The
the
only
long?
sniper
You like the sniping? Can you do that with the varmint rifle?
You can that's the easiest gun to pull out, and like when you're running on your horse and you just press what is it, L2, and it brings your gun up and you automatically point it at something. Then you stop your horse, put it in slow-mo, see what it is, and then like, oh, it's a raccoon, boom, varmint rifle, rat, boom, like all
Varmint
that
rifle.
shit, dude. I
Oh,
need
it's a raccoon.
all
Boom.
that thing, yeah, badger,
Boom.
boom, that's a hawk.
boom.
Gold eagle. Gold
Boom.
eagle. Yeah. Like,
Do you
I blow everything away.
do you have a favorite weapon, Gary?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're really my favorites. My typical loadout is the pump action shotgun that I was given, and the Lancaster repeater.
That's
For
a good
more
one.
long-
Yeah,
That's a
distance.
really good. That's a good one.
I like that one
Oh,
too.
pimped out.
All of my guns are pimped out. They all have like engravings
Yeah.
or whatever.
Not engravings, but yeah.
Yeah,
all
whatever
of them are
the-
barrel.
yeah.
I didn't glitch. I didn't glitch
Yeah,
iron
yeah.
man.
We made some money.
No,
Can
we're
you
doing
guys,
it. We're doing it
Neither did
legit.
I.
Can
I
you
don't
guys get?
every piece
Can
of
you get
clothing
like
in the game.
axes or melee weapons?
Yes, you can
Can
get
you
a hatchet,
hack-
and
Yeah,
when you
the stone
cleave
hatchet.
it into someone's and the machete. I have a machete,
I haven't-
a
I
hatchet,
don't got the
a
machete.
buck knife,
I don't have, excuse me.
tomahawk,
Oh,
the throwing
tomahawk, a
knife.
flaming tomahawk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
flaming. That's pretty cool.
and when you take the machete and like cleave it into someone's head, it gets stuck, and you like wiggle your arm, and you can't get it out. So you
Oh,
totally
yeah,
put
the
your
bow.
foot on their head and like
The
shove
bow's
them
for
out.
hunting,
You
right?
rip it out. It's awesome. Yeah,
So
I
is
got
the
a
varmint
bow.
rifle. Bow does the
uh,
exact same thing as the varmint rifle. The
Yeah,
varmint
I'm-
rifle is just funner.
Yeah,
Fun-
more fun.
Funner.
Yeah, clearly.
We Hugheses got our own English.
That's right. That's
I-
right, boy.
I think as far as like sidearms, I have to go like cowboy and go with the revolver, the Schofield
Yeah, I gotta
revolvers.
pop those out. and try
I
them
double
out.
those up. Those are my favorite. Mine are both gold
Nice.
with silver inlaid and pearl grips. And then
Right back.
my second favorite is the lasso. Totally.
I don't use it that much. I did lasso a dude that stole my money in Lemoyne or whatever, and I was like, motherfucker! I had to chase his ass down, lassoed him, hog-tied him,
Hog
threw him on my shoulder, and people are like, kidnapping. And then all of a sudden, the Keystone cops show up, and I'm like, no, dude, I just got this guy. And they start shooting, and so I throw him down, and I loot him, and I shoot him, and then boom, 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 and I got in this shootout with the cops, and I must have killed. My bounty was up over $450 when I finally died.
Nice. I like that in GTA it's all about getting stars, and
Yeah.
this one it's about bounties. Like
Yeah.
I want to have a bounty
Well,
over 1,000.
Yeah, that's my next goal.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm
That-
gonna
I
go up
haven't
to
done it
like
yet.
I'm gonna do like
How
2
high?
grand,
How
3
high can
grand.
the bounties
Yeah.
get? Can the
They can
bounties?
I don't
keep going.
know.
I think
I think
every
you can
time
just
you
keep
shoot
doing it.
somebody, it's $30.
Oh my god.
All
I
right.
want to make a bounty of $1,000 and see how desperate they are to
Wow.
get me.
They when
think
I was up
anybody
to
will stop.
350, it was brutal, man. I was getting chased wherever.
Yeah, I
the
was like,
fuck
I've gotten a
went.
couple hundred.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the most I've had is like 500 on
Yeah.
a bounty, and I was just riding on the road, and there were actually bounty hunters
Yes.
that pulled a wagon on a bridge where that I was
To stop
that I
your
was
ass.
there,
Yep.
and I was already on the bridge. They pulled it in and stopped me. They got out of it, and they all had their guns sitting there waiting. And they're like, "We've been waiting for you." Right, and I was like, "All right, this is how it's
Here
gonna
we
go
go.
down."
Yeah.
I just popped out, put it into the dead shot man, and headshot it
Yeah.
all. Bounty kept going up. Right, I want to know if you hit like
It's
1,000,
so fun.
or will they just
Everywhere.
be everywhere?
Have you rolled into Blackwater, Gary?
No, not yet. No,
I rolled through there.
I'm
'cause
still
I
over in
was
Saint Denis.
hunting some stuff, and as soon as I went, there's like a river, and as soon as I went across the river, dudes were on me like out of the woods and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, and then they followed me across the river, and I had to like bail, and I was like, man, that was weird, and I went back, and they're all like waiting there,
Yeah.
take a couple out, and there's more guys that are coming out of Blackwater, and they killed me multiple times.
There's a reason they don't go back for that score, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. So maybe that will be the next or the DLC or something, is you'll get to see what happened to Blackwater.
That's got to be the conclusion, doesn't it? Doesn't that have to
Oh,
be the
yeah, yeah.
finale?
Yeah, it has to be. I haven't gotten there yet either,
Excuse
where I
me.
can
Yeah,
I
I
can
don't
go
know.
there, but they hate me instantly, right? Like it's a death trap to go there. But that has to happen at some point. You've got to go back to again tie up those loose
Yeah.
ends and deal with those repercussions head on,
Yeah.
right? How about as far as the sound in the game?
I think it's great.
Are you guys a
You
fan
hear
of
a
that?
cat, you turn around, you can't see it. You double click, you still can't see it. You get back on your horse, and then boom, that cat comes and hits your jugular, and you're like this, and you fall. It's the coolest thing
Oh yeah,
I've ever seen.
I've
Yeah.
had a cat leap on me and try to bite me while I'm fighting it,
Yeah.
but it's like grabbing
Yeah.
at my shoulders. And when I finally get it off and kill it, if you turn around, you've got all these claw marks up your back. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like even
Do you have
that
to get a new
that
shirt
it's
after that?
Yes.
I was just wondering.
I'm sorry, my son's an idiot.
Yeah, it's your fault. At least part.
Yeah.
It's his mother's fault.
I think
Or
the
his real
sound.
cats.
Yeah, the sound effects in the game are phenomenal. I love the voice acting in the game. There's no. There's nobody. It doesn't feel like anybody just like
Stands out.
Yeah.
Nobody phoned it in, right?
Yeah.
Like people that made this game, they cared. They wanted to make a game. They were well invested in the game that they made. There's a lot of pride that they have in this game. Even like when you hit certain parts of the game and like the music will come on, and it's totally that like classic spaghetti western type music that'll just start kicking in like when you're in cinematic or something. It's done all so well, and it's done so like tastefully. Like none of it bombards you. It's all just kind of trickled in there, really, really nice and subtly.
Scarcity of the music as you're playing is a strength. Whereas GTA, you're constantly
Bombarded.
the radio station blaring, things are going on, keep you there. The music in Red Dead, it fades in, it fades out, it comes and goes, kind of somewhat based
Depending
off
on
of
where you're
what
at.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Some of it, just as ambient effects. But that helps, deal with, the isolation you're feeling while you're out there. And then, when the music actually does kick in, it has, I think, generally the desired effect that the designers are wanting you to have as you're getting fired up, ready to go shoot some people up in Valentine.
And even like gun sounds. Like the gun sounds. Like when you fire that pump shotgun and then you cock the gun.
You're doing it, and you see the bullet every time.
If you play it in first person and you like do the double revolvers and fire them off and then go to reload, he'll actually kick the guns forward and you watch him pull a bullet and stick it into each cylinder and spin it as you do it. Like that is super cool, and they make the noises of it, and like
I have not done that.
It's worth doing. Put it in first person just to watch him reload a gun. It's really cool.
It's too much.
I've dabbled a little bit, but primarily I'm playing in third. But
totally.
I like to be way back so you can see the dudes behind you that are sneaking up or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like that zombie game.
That's a little cheater baby mode, but whatever.
Adam has a big problem with dudes sneaking up on his behind.
Lucas says that his only sound complaint is that you never get the classic spur sound.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. When you're walking on wood in the town, like I got some big old spurs, dude.
Yeah, you need to get further, I think, and buy. I think it's because you got the ghetto spurs. You got to get the upper.
The bigger spurs than like when you're walking on the wooden cut bridges and stuff. I think it sounds off pretty well against it.
Yeah. There's
everything
so much
makes
detail
noise.
to that.
Your reins, like all the shit hanging off your saddle when you're going, is all,
and the surround sound's really good. Like when I wear my headset and I'm playing, a lot of like the cats are a classic example of that. You'll hear the cat, and you can hear where it is. Totally dial in right on it with the surround sound. It is the sound in the game is. There is as much attention to that as there is everything else. It's done really,
nuances.
Really
well. Wolfenstein 2 had some pretty good sound design.
Oh my god, he's got to bring in every other game.
Yep. I'm thinking about Wolfenstein.
What do you think as far as the like the missions in the game? I mean, we've talked a lot about just doing random stuff.
I think that's the
but
game.
But like the story, what about
that is the game. The
what about
missions
the
are
story
great,
missions?
And it progresses the story, but the game is more like Gary was saying. You just get lost in it.
So do you think that the actual main story and the mission part of the game is secondary to all that stuff?
I think it gets blurred a bit.
Yeah, depends on how you want to play it.
I don't know that it gets lost necessarily because it's bright yellow and shiny right there on your map, so it's going to keep guiding you towards it. But it definitely does, because everything is so. Nothing seems like it was just an afterthought. Every little side quest that there is, even maybe some of the strangers missions, but your white missions,
the
gold ones. They all are full featured. They're engaging the story. They are expanding your knowledge of the players of the world.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like filler.
No.
Which is.
So.
I'm not going to say Ubisoft, but.
Ubisoft.
It's beyond Ubisoft. You can't even compare this to an Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
Like an Ubisoft game, their classic flaws, they reskin everything.
Yeah.
Right? This is
no. I was talking about the fact that all their side missions aren't filler like an Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
No, yeah.
That's exactly
just
yes.
Other stuff you can do. Yeah.
No, there have been like the white missions that have come up that I've gone to do, and they've been there for a while, and I've done story missions, and I'll finally go to do them, and I don't know I don't have anything to compare it with, but things have happened to my character that are substantial and have now changed people's opinion of me in the game.
Totally.
And when I play those white missions, that thing that I did later, I
Reflects.
could have already gone and done
Yeah.
that mission, but because I've allowed the main story to progress and my guy's totally different now with major impacted things happen to him, they'll bring that up
Yeah.
in the side missions and like encounters with those
Like
side
what you
missions. It's
did back
actually
there.
changed.
Yeah.
Like the conversation is different. The way they react with me is different. And I would be really tempted to go back and play this game again.
I could.
And do
God,
some
I
of
was
those things
just thinking that. I
just
could-
to see
yep.
like
Go
will
and
they
replay
say that
this game.
same thing, because I haven't done the
Yeah.
thing in the main story that would even bring that issue up now, right? But the mission was always there.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly baffled by that type of thing in the game.
Yeah.
The unfolding of everything is insane. It just no wonder it was 2 discs, right? Like to
Oh.
consider all those encounters.
Weird. How weird is that? Remember Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah.
Like that's the
Oh
only
yeah,
other game
3,
I
and then
can,
they got 4.
I
and
can remember that would be like, well, that was like a pivotal video game when well, my kids were little, still very little.
97.
Grew up watching a lot of
97.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. Well, I got it in 90. It must have been 2000 because Jack was about 2 years old when I had that game.
Whoa.
But yeah, I mean that was like it was so big and like so weird, and there was always this crazy stuff to do. that changed my outlook on video games.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Like
we were talking about it the other day. Spider-Man 2, or whatever that was for the place. Remember? Was it
Yeah, yeah.
Spider-Man
We had
or
that, yeah.
Spider-Man 2?
yeah.
You were pretty good at that game.
That was awesome. And then, this game, it's like, bam, man.
Yeah, I think this Red Dead 2 is going to go down as a milestone game. It just is going to. And I think that any open world game that comes out after it is going it's going to impact that game.
That's funny.
It just is. Oh yeah, online is going to let Lucas says
That's
he hopes
so
that
funny.
online will let you put bounties on people as well.
That's fucked up, Lucas.
You can already do that in GTA.
That's
so I'm
what
assuming
that's
you
what
can.
Dad was saying too.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
then
that
I
you
compared
can.
it to another game.
I want
your favorite thing. For
after
me
we
to do.
give our score on this one on the single player, I do want to get together and do some theorizing about
Yeah.
online.
The
I'm totally
online
gonna do
should
that.
be pretty
Oh,
cool.
I've got a lot of theories about how that's gonna work and what
Yeah.
we're gonna run into there. Let's see. We kind of already touched on the NPCs. That was my last
$800
main
bounty,
story
yeah.
thing to talk about.
1,000.
And I think
$100,000
that
bounty.
the best way to sum it up in Red Dead is that NPC is almost a term that Red Dead is changing,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, you can't play as that character, but they're not like just they just
affect
aren't
the
fillers.
game, yeah.
They are actual
Not
living,
just there.
breathing
Yep.
people in the game that is helping. They're part of the world,
Yeah.
right? They really
They are
really
not another tree.
Yeah.
No, they're not. And I think that's a really, really important thing to point out in Red Dead because it is one of the standout differences between it and other games. So I have the last couple little things here to chat about before we slap a score on it. Have you guys used the app at all?
I got it, and I think I'm going to start. My phone just goes dead so quick, right? So you
Yeah.
got the app on, and it's a cool map, and you can take your map thing away from the corner of the screen, and you're like, oh. And it'll totally show you where
Oh,
you're
it
at.
connects
works,
with the game?
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I bought stuff off the app, but I don't. I should probably use it more.
I was thinking that I'm kind of in that same boat where
Yeah.
it is handy. It's nice to be able to get rid of the map on
Yeah.
the screen. But even that said, that's the only thing on the screen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like there
except
is
for
nothing
maybe
else
It's very
there.
minimalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah, but I actually enjoyed the app too. I think it's way better than the GTA app. Like it actually facilitates the game
Yeah.
to some degree. The GTA app is you load that up, make license plates, and then delete it.
Yeah.
Right. Like you don't need to keep that around. This one you could keep using it through the whole game.
Yeah.
The most
I enjoyed diving into the journal, Arthur's journal,
Yeah.
and reading
Yeah.
how
Oh,
he
that
when
would make
he reads-
sense. Yeah.
reads, how he recaps and how he sees everything that you've experienced. And apparently, like at some point, like your journal will be different than mine
yeah.
because we took different paths
Yep.
into the through the different through our
Drawing
interactions.
pictures of weird stuff. It's cool to look through there. Like, I was running through the woods the other day and I came across this thing and I was like, oh man, he didn't draw a picture of it though. So like trying to tell him where it is so he could look at it, and I'm like, it was in between this weird picture I drew and then this weird picture I drew. I don't know.
Like
it's somewhere in there.
The things that show up on your map are totally different depending on what you've ran into.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've done that. Yeah, where we're confused about trying to help each other navigate.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
This has been the most fun I've had chatting with somebody online.
Yeah.
Well, not in this,
Yeah,
engaging in the actual game together at all, but we're still just having so much fun.
See you online.
And I do want to comment
See
to
you
Lucas,
online.
who says that he knows that I'm going to be killing everybody online, and you're going to have to hear stupid
Whatever,
Marcus
dude.
chuckle
His
in
little
the
giggle.
background.
For it.
He said giggle, not
He's
chuckle.
gonna try
Okay.
for it. Yeah,
You're gonna
that's what he
get
does. He
giggles
does
and
do a
chuckle.
giggle.
I do. I totally do.
He does more of a giggle.
And you know what? I'm going to promise everybody right now, I will probably kill your horse more than I will kill you.
That's just mean.
You're going to be
That
riding
is
up to
not
me,
cool.
and I'm going to headshot your horse and just watch you face plant over the front. It's going to be awesome.
And then just
So
run
I
away.
can't
So
wait.
not awesome. That is so not awesome.
There's the chuckle for Lucas right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
going to
dude,
happen.
my horse is
Posse
my
up, bro.
horse is.
We're gonna take him out. Yeah,
I like
gonna,
my
of
horse more
course.
than Jack.
Right? It's going to make it more personal
Yeah.
than if I would have killed you.
I mean, me too.
You know it will. Yeah.
Yes, I was hoping you would pick up on that.
Borfed is like the best friend I've
Borf-
ever had.
Borfed the horse.
Yeah.
Borfed.
So I only got a couple more
PH.
things. Do you guys think, because it was a long time hype with GTA, that we were going to get some sort of DLC for the story of GTA, right?
There'll be DLC. For
It
this.
never happened.
It's gonna have to.
Do you guys, will we actually get
I
DLC
fucking hope so, man.
for the campaign of Red Dead?
I don't think you can base it off of what happened with GTA 5.
No.
GTA Online blew up in an unimaginable way. I mean, the only thing I can really think to compare it to recently would be, like the way Fortnite's exploded. I mean, it just became an all-encompassing thing. It only made sense for them to divert all their resources to
It's an
this
hour.
cash cow. And I mean, while we all
That's
hope
outrageous.
that Red Dead Online has legs the way GTA does,
It'll probably come out kicking.
we don't know that at this point.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll get to where we think they're going with online here in a little bit. But
I think because in 3 days, it's the second highest selling game ever, right? Within those 3 days, as far as the 3
Yeah.
days go. I think Rockstar is so aware of the monster that they've made with their products. I wouldn't really be surprised if they come out with some sort of DLC or a couple packs that
It's
are
gonna
like
be,
that
yeah.
are like $20. Like, what if
You'll
even the DLC was maybe the same map, but you got to play as a different character in the game? Do you want
I
to
want to
stick with
go
Arthur?
back. I want to go back in Arthur's past.
Maybe
and
you
see
could-
what happened.
what a- maybe you can
with
get a DLC
Blackwater,
that's a
and then
prequel.
see like because Dutch keeps he's like, you're my boy. So
Yeah.
I want to see when Arthur started. Like Arthur's like he's the coolest character I've ever played a
And
video
then-
game as, aside from Kratos. Back in the original, when Kratos was just like
Yeah.
super angry dude, right?
But then there's going to
Arthur's
be
the Kratos of
another
the
cool
West.
cowboy, and you're going to be like, I want to see what his story was. Red Dead
No.
Redemption 4, 5,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
going to
yeah.
go back. Then it's going to be like samurais.
So summed
I'm
up,
into that.
I think DLC is completely a real legit possibility for Red Dead as far as the campaign. I think there's a lot
hope
of money
so.
to be made there
Yes.
for Rockstar if they do that. Clearly, people just can't get enough of Red Dead now. So I'm in the boat of I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's totally possible. What do
I
you
hope
think?
they do.
You want them to?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
want them to make some DLC.
Yeah, you want to
but
see more of Arthur. He's your guy, dude. Isn't he a stud? Long haired, like
I don't like the way you said that.
little
but I
greasy
really
fucking
wanted
mustache.
some DLC for GTA 5 too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, and they'd always said they were gonna, and then like Gary
Yeah,
was
and
saying,
that was
the online
announced,
was a
and then they took
monster.
it away.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
And you mentioned it was the second best-selling game over a 3-day window. What's the
Yeah.
game that sold better than that?
GTA.
GTA 5.
Yeah, but I don't think they knew what was going to happen with GTA. Like, I think GTA came out.
I've never made it to Mexico, Lucas. I keep thinking about it.
Has anyone made it across the map lower
I've heard
I haven't
about
made
that,
it to
but I
Mexico
haven't
yet.
made it.
No.
I haven't made it.
I heard it's a glitch.
I heard
though.
that you can.
Yeah. So I'm thinking DLC maybe.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Last couple things.
Make that game great again.
I know
It's like the
it's-
fourth time you said
I
last
know.
couple
Well,
things.
we're still in the last couple. I only have 4 on my last points
That's
list
the
here. We hit
last
2
couple.
of them.
That's more than last couple.
This is the last couple. Because we're
Double
so
couple.
liquid, Adam. We're so liquid.
We are liquid.
We are liquid.
Like oil and water.
Are you liquid?
Gary,
I'm
Oh.
just.
say
Well,
yes,
I'm just
Gary.
saying.
Oh, you
no,
just
you
said
should
people?
say. You should say you're liquid.
Yeah, we're all liquid.
not solid.
Although it's solid to be liquid.
I'm gassy.
Metal Gear.
So that's kind of a liquid.
Yeah.
Gas is a
Oh,
liquid.
No, it's definitely not. It's a
It can
completely
be.
different type of
It
matter.
depends on
Dad.
whether or not you gamble. It depends on how hard you gamble.
Jeremiah said,
Always
I think the
liquid.
important thing here is if you feel fulfilled with what you paid for so far and are willing to pay for more.
I would pay for
Totally.
more.
I
I
would
would totally pay
completely
for
pay for more.
DLC.
I would.
But I think I pre-ordered.
I
so
get,
I
by
get the
throwing my
DLC.
dollars at the TV, would give it to them and get it to me faster. I would do it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
we
my
already
money.
Do you think, so this is already looking way into the future. Do you think that because of what happened with Red Dead 2, there's a potential for Red Dead 3 to, like, maybe you get to play as
Remake?
Dutch? Right?
Maybe get to play as Dutch. I don't want to play as Dutch.
You don't want to go back the next step
I
and
would
play
like
as
to-
Dutch?
I
and
would like to
see
go-
how...
I would like to play as Arthur Morgan as a kid. Like, see his shitty upbringing, dude. And see how Dutch and Hosea bring him in. You're like, oh, dude, this is the beginning, you know. Money talks like
Including
this. More
with
like
that-
Jack.
Failed job in Blackwater.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that would be the conclusion. Yes. So I read, this is
Yeah,
a
okay,
total segment.
I could be down with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people probably said that about like, oh, I want to play as John Marston when he was younger. But then it's like you play as Arthur and you're like, oh, I like Arthur.
Yeah, and now you get to observe
Yeah.
John grow
So maybe
up.
Dad-
There's
Okay.
Hosea.
Maybe you can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
open
exactly.
to a new
Hosea, what an
experience.
interesting character, right?
Yeah. I could see them going that
Or
route, though,
Ronnie.
where we
Yeah.
play as somebody else from the gang that
I
then
wanna
at
be
the end
Uncle.
introduces Arthur.
Uncle,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the
That would be
beginning.
cool.
Or the priest. What's his name?
Yeah, psycho
Father
priest.
won't shut the hell up.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
father. He's
Um,
shooting up. Have you found his? Never mind.
So my last question, before we put a score on it, I promise the last one. And I know this is, we're bringing GTA back into it. But
Which you should,
obviously,
as always.
It's kind of the
obvious,
same thing.
it is, I think it's a relevant thing to do.
It's not Tuesday.
Yeah. With the obviously massive success of Red Dead 2 and how much time they've put into it and how much time they will probably keep putting into it
Yep.
to try to continue that success of what GTA did, do you think that this has pushed GTA 6 like 6 or 7 years out?
No. Okay, so real quick, I think they've got the ability to build a world. They have a world model right now that encompasses like rainforest, swamp, you know,
Like the engine to run it, you mean?
yeah,
Any
they
biome you
have
can
that.
imagine,
Yes,
you can pretty
they
much
have
handle
that.
at this point.
So
Yeah.
I think it won't be that far. I think a lot of stuff is going to start changing.
But
Maybe in
I
video
also
games
think that's
right
one of
now
the
because
details
the-
about Red Dead that makes it different than other open world games is that when
It
you
can
go
do
into
everything,
a
yeah.
forest in Red Dead, it doesn't look like the same forest that was in a different part of the map. Like
No,
each
it's
part of the
totally
map.
That's what I'm saying. So with GTA, the new GTA, they don't have to recreate all. They already have the base model for that, right?
But don't you think in Red Dead that's why it took 7 years? Because it took
well, they
Duder.
built that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were building that, right? They were building this open world model that they can keep kind of replicating and refining as the years go on. But I don't think it's going to take another 6 or 7 years. You're just going to take out all those hickabilly houses and those dirt roads, right? You're going to put down pavement.
Yeah.
Maybe make it a little wider because you're going to go a little bit faster, right?
with cars and
Yeah,
stuff.
with cars and planes and
I think
whatnot.
There
I
was,
think if they go the route you're talking,
they would get so much crap for it.
Oh,
That's
I
what
would
happened to
I would be
Ubisoft.
so disappointed. That is the definition of what Ubisoft
wait.
does.
No,
How
they
are you
literally
saying
did that
you're
with
gonna-
Far Cry Primal and Far Cry 4. They took the map from Far Cry 4 and just put it into Far Cry Primal. Super lazy.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying you're going to take the same map. You're going to take the same software that built that,
Same code, the
world,
same base.
right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
expand on it as much as you can at the time, right?
But I think to rebuild GTA to the level that they've built Red Dead
I don't see why
is
they
going
couldn't do
to
it.
take the years of dedication
Why?
it took on Red Dead to do that. Because
Okay.
that's what makes
Because
Red
it has
Dead
to be
stand
the
out.
jump from what
From
'Cause it's
Red
not
Dead
the
2
same
was
to
to
the city.
GTA.
Yeah, but now you
You
got to
can
build
do that.
buildings and like you
Yes.
know
The inside of the buildings.
every little thing about all the buildings.
Buildings are
and all
huge. It's
that, and
cramped.
So
NPCs
you're going to
have
go
have
in. You're
different
going to be
things.
able to go in every building.
Yeah. Now you got to build the inside of all the buildings too, with the level
Which
of
is a base
detail that the
model.
world Red Dead has.
Yes, but they already have that code written.
Yeah, but they don't
Right.
have the elements to make the code work, right? Like they have the engine that'll run it, but they don't have the pieces to facilitate that.
AI.
AI. That's
You
so
can't
Ubisoft.
you can't just
no,
say that.
If they Ubisoft GTA 6, I'll be so pissed.
Ubisoft
and they won't
is
do
not
it.
AI.
No,
is
they
it?
just
I think I think we're at least 4 years, probably at least 5 years from GTA 6.
It's
th-
gonna
I
be a big
mean,
one. It's the big one, Mike.
Barring when they did the trilogy where they took the same exact engine with 3 and then just kicked them out super fast. They traditionally do about a 5-year break. I mean, by that point, we're going to be in the next gen. I mean, GTA 5, I mean, in a way, was held back because it was a cross-gen experience. It was
Yeah.
Xbox 360, PS3, and then they upscaled it for, the one and the PS4.
and I
But,
think
I mean,
that's
Red Dead is the first truly next-gen game Rockstar has made.
Yep, and I
If
think
they do
that
it any sooner than that, it's going to be a half step forward rather than the full step
I totally agree.
like Red Dead.
I think Red Dead is basically what GTA did on a PS3. I think it came out. It's going to max the hell out of our PS4s. We're going to get a remaster on PS5. Probably like
Yep.
1 year into PS5, maybe a year and a half. We'll get a remaster of Red Dead.
Can I transfer my stuff over?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
because
guarantee
it's
you.
tied to the GTA
You
account.
could do that. It's
or
tied to
on
the
your
social
on your
club.
on your PlayStation too.
Yeah, you could
It's
do
all
that
cloud.
from PS3 to
It's
PS5.
on the cloud, man.
So Arthur,
Or I mean 4. You'll be able to transfer all your, at least your online stuff. I don't know about single player because you couldn't do that.
I
but I
totally
wouldn't be
love that guy.
surprised.
I love Arthur.
I'm sure they have
Morgan.
that. I'm gonna
He's my
say-
favorite video game.
Dude, it's
character
just an excuse
ever.
to play the whole game again and
Yeah,
get trophies
No,
all
yeah,
over
yeah.
again.
You're like, God
I-
damn it, Arthur, I love you.
I think GTA
I give
6
him a big
will
hug.
come
A
out
little weird.
at
I
the
like it.
end of
Nope.
the PS5 life
And
cycle.
shut it down.
And I think that's at least
End
6
of the
years away.
PS5?
Yep. I think the last couple years of PS5 life cycle will be GTA 6. I think they're
You're
going to dive
talking like
everything into it.
2025?
That doesn't make any sense. Why the fuck? I'll be too old to play video games then.
No, you Dad, you're like
I'll
40.
be
Never
in like
too old.
I'll need to go into like an immersion tank for GTA.
Dad.
And just like find a way to
What-
make your video games work under there too.
Like live in there. You'll have to pay my bills, son.
Get a good job, Jack.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
little he's a son
I
of
don't
a
know.
bitch.
It's up in the air. I'm going to say GTA
I never
6
met his
is
mother.
really far out now.
He's a
This
son
is
of a
so pushed GTA 6 years and years out.
I don't think it's pushed it that far out. I think the advancements in technology will make it so it's not. I mean, once PS5 comes out, what is Rockstar going to do until then? They're going to wait 5 years to put out another game?
No, they're
Hell
gonna-
no.
But they already did that
Online.
with GTA 5.
Yeah.
It
They're just
worked
gonna
pretty
make
well
a
last time.
billion
Yeah, that's what I
dollars.
mean. GTA 5 it's been
Wow,
out for
I'm a
like
noob.
7 years now, right? Like something crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then that's how long
6.
it was. 6 years. Red Dead was 7, right? It was 7 years
Red-
till we got Red Dead 2.
Oh, 2010 is when
9.
Red Dead came out.
Yeah. 2000,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
9 years.
2010, yeah.
That's how long it took them to come out with another Red Dead. I bet we've got at least
not 9
3 to
years.
4 years.
Are you giving me some fake math?
Yeah.
Is
Doing
that the
serious
next
math.
thing?
Yeah.
There's fake news, and now there's fake math.
Yeah. All right, let's put a score on it.
Yeah,
if
let's
you have to score
Slam it.
Red Dead, you got to
17.
put the number on it.
Oh
It
my
gets
God.
1 through 9, from the super turd to the unicorn.
Oh, unicorn.
What do you think, Gary, as our video guest? What are you gonna do? Can we, before we
We
put
do
the
halves.
score, can we all definitively say it gets a 10 as far as cowboy games go? Like it is the 10 of cowboy games.
I want to see how it ends.
It's the best game I've ever played.
Where do you sit
And
now?
I'm only
until you
like
see how it ends?
43%.
Well, I see how it ends. I'm going to give it a very, very confident 9.
A solid 9.
Yes.
I will tell you.
I want to see how it ends.
I will tell you. I know how it ends. I'm not there yet, but I know
Don't
because
tell
of
me. I
thing-
swear to
I
God,
won't
I
tell
will reach right
anybody
through this
how it
neck
ends.
and punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Spoiler cast.
up.
Just kidding.
Don't
Punch me through the
Listen
internet.
to this asshole.
I'm going to give. Man, I would.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow, you hit the wrong guy, dude.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't feel it.
Lucas gives it a 9.5.
Okay. So
Good
Bro
dick.
gives it 9.5.
Oh, we do halves? Damn.
And Lucas
okay.
is like.
Nine's fine.
Lucas.
He's
he's
a
like
mediocre
a half
player.
hour in, yeah.
He's a mediocre player.
His just downloaded and he already gave it a,
Oh.
he gave it a 9.5.
Good job.
He gave it a 9.5 because it was the best loading
I want to
bar
get
he's
into a
ever seen.
posse and then take Lucas out.
Yeah.
But I want to take you out too.
Okay.
For lunch.
Yeah.
Like, we could all go and get a sandwich somewhere. Anyway.
Oh my god.
I'm going to give. Man.
They had this fried goat and Valentine.
Yes. That's what
I'm going to
talking
give
about.
Red Dead. Man.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give it a 9.75. It is doing so many things that I just didn't think a game was capable of doing, and it keeps surprising me with it.
You know what? I'm going to give it a Unicron.
You are?
Yeah.
He's
Just
giving it the
like my
unicorn.
son.
He's
Whoops.
giving it the 10.
I hit the button. I hit the wrong button.
God, Jack, you're just.
I know,
this is-
today's
your
rough.
day.
But that means that you literally can't play any other. There's no point in playing any other game ever.
Well, I just want to get my mind blowed.
He's
giving it a
loving it
10.
that much.
B-L-O-U-W-D.
So
Giving it
9.
a 10.
Lucas gives it a 9.5. Write
Yep.
that down too, Jack.
I did.
Okay.
I already did.
Gary gives it a solid
good
9.
intern.
You sure you don't want to throw in a partial point there, Gary?
He did say halves.
Well, I was originally going to say 9.5, but I wouldn't know if we did partials.
You can do whatever you want, man. 9.72 if you want. Whatever. I don't care.
Whatever that.
As much after that
You can,
decimal
but
is
don't.
gone.
9.2.
A 9.2. Okay.
Wow.
And I gave
The
it
gunplay still
9.75.
bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, time for thanks, Mick. Sorry, there's a lot of things going on right now.
Right?
God. you guys are
Basically, the
worst.
summed up is you are missing out on what your PlayStation 4 is capable of if you don't get Red Dead. I really think you are. I don't think there will be another game that comes out that will capitalize on everything that this generation system is capable of doing. I think they've opened other developers are shocked at what they've made the PS4 do. They have to be. Like I don't even think
Well,
they
so it's not only PS4, it's Xbox X1. Or,
all the
I don't
systems. Yeah.
understand.
Well, we're
Is
PS4.
it X1 or?
Xbox One.
Yeah,
whatever.
1X. But I think all the developers are going, holy crap, have you seen what they did with this game? And, I mean, all the people playing it are saying that. Developers are saying
I love
the
it.
world is shocked.
Yeah.
It's
best,
so
best
good.
game I've ever played.
Yeah. Like
Also,
I was
at
telling
this
if you're
point-
watching it,
At this
Yeah.
point in my
Marcus
life.
just said you can't match this. Prove him wrong. I dare you.
Yeah, please do. I would love to see it happen. I would love to see other developers put the level of dedication that Rockstar's put into this game. So,
Not necessarily 100-hour work weeks, though.
Yeah.
I can't condone that.
Yeah.
Have you done 100-hour work weeks are brutal, man. By the like 5th day, you're not there like functioning. You're there as like a warm body.
Yeah.
So 100-hour work weeks, don't do shit, right? Give the guys the time to make the game. Don't release the game when you say you're going to release it. Release it when it's ready, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're pushing these guys, unless the dudes are all cracked out on like methamphetamine and mushrooms or something where they can keep working like this. And
That's
numbers
your
and
work
stuff.
Dug up your workers. It's
Jeremiah
okay.
Jeremiah
All right.
gives the game a 5 because all it does is snow. And finally, someone commented on my bald head. I donated my hair. Thanks for noticing, guys. Thanks for being like,
He
Ooh, what
donated
happened?
his hair to the dumpster. Great job, Jack. I hope you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
I'd be really sad if
to
that
hair
happened.
for, what did you donate it to?
Pantene.
No,
Pantene.
Crystal.
Locks for love.
Locks for
No,
Love.
what?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, we
I
did
told
pa- I
him
thought
he
we did
should donate
Pantene.
all that facial hair to Pubes
Well, that's
for
where it
Love.
all goes. Yeah, pubes
But-
for
It
love.
goes to Locks for Love. No, Locks for Love is. You don't want to get.
Okay, wherever, dude. Talk to Princess. She'll tell
Yeah,
you where
yeah,
it goes.
yeah.
Because Pantene
You
is
have
no,
no
Pantene's
merit
different.
this whole episode.
I don't
Shut
have
it down.
much merit
God.
when I'm telling him.
To all the
where
nerds,
Through
through
all the
fuzz,
Bottoms
bottoms up.
Let's get
Nerd
Let's
Nerdbuzzed.
get Nerd Buzz.
Get Red Dead, people.
Yep.
Thank you,
Great
Mick
game.
and
Talking
Lucas
about
and
beer,
Jeremiah and
talking about
Dad and
beer,
everybody out there that joined us. We
cocktail,
really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Let's get nerd.
Your guys' picture kept freezing.
Oh, we were still on the.
Yeah.